For centuries, the great cities of the Maya slept beneath a green ocean, not of water, but of jungle. Roots twisted through abandoned palaces, and howler monkeys screamed where kings once ruled. To the outside world, the Maya had simply vanished. But stone doesn't forget. It keeps secrets, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. When archaeologists first hacked their way through the forests of Central America, what they found defied every expectation. Towering pyramids, precision-built temples, and observatories perfectly aligned with the stars, all created by a civilization that existed long before electricity, before machines, before the idea of modern. The Maya were not just farmers or warriors. They were thinkers, mathematicians, poets, and engineers who turned nature itself into architecture. They looked at the sky, not for worship, but for understanding. To them, the universe wasn't chaos, it was a pattern. While Europe was still debating whether Earth was flat, the Maya had already charted the orbits of Venus and Jupiter. They could predict eclipses centuries ahead. They invented the concept of zero, something so revolutionary that most of the world didn't catch up for another 1,000 years. And somehow, they did all this without iron, without wheels, without beasts of burden. Imagine it. No cranes, no computers, no calculators, only stone, wood, and human genius. They built cities so vast and complex that even with modern technology, we're still figuring out how. And yet, for all their brilliance, they built everything to reflect something much larger, the cosmos itself. Every temple, every staircase, every carving had meaning. The city wasn't just a place to live, it was a mirror of the heavens. When the sun rose on the equinox, light would pass through a temple window and strike an altar with perfect precision. When the stars shifted, the Maya celebrated, not with fear but with mathematics. They saw divinity in geometry, but power has a price. As cities grew, so did ambition. Rulers competed not for survival, but for legacy. Wars were fought to prove whose gods were stronger. Every victory was celebrated with blood, because to the Maya, blood was more than sacrifice. It was fuel for the universe. Still, beneath the violence was a strange beauty. They didn't fear death. To them, dying wasn't an end. It was part of a cosmic rhythm. Every life, every city, every star was destined to rise and fall, forever. Then one day, the rhythm changed. By the time the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, the great cities had been reclaimed by silence. No one knew why. Some said drought, the sky refusing to rain for years. Others said overpopulation, famine, or endless war. But maybe the answer was simpler. The Maya didn't collapse. They moved on. The civilization didn't vanish. It transformed. Millions of Maya descendants still live across Central America today, speaking the same languages, keeping the same calendars, burning incense to the same gods who once ruled the stars. Yet even now, the jungle keeps its secrets. Modern scientists use LiDAR, laser mapping, to see through the trees. And what they've found changes everything. Entire networks of hidden roads connecting city to city. Gigantic causeways stretching for miles. Villages arranged in patterns that reflect constellations. It's as if the Maya turned their entire landscape into one enormous cosmic circuit board. But there's something eerie about it. For all our satellites and computers, we're still catching up to people who carved their equations into stone. They didn't think of time the way we do. To us, time is a straight line. Birth to death, past to future. To the Maya, time was a circle. Infinite repeating. Every age ended, only for another to begin. Creation, destruction, rebirth, an endless cycle. And maybe that's why the 2012 prophecy confused us so much. The Maya never said the world would end. They said the cycle would reset. But humans fear endings, even when they're just beginnings. It's funny, isn't it? We scroll through our glowing screens, thinking we're the peak of civilization. But the Maya were mapping the stars with nothing but naked eyes, and we can't even find our phones without GPS. They carved stories that lasted 1,000 years, and we post things that vanish in 24 hours. They built pyramids that still stand. We build skyscrapers that need repairs after 10. Maybe the real mystery isn't how the Maya disappeared. Maybe it's how we forgot how to build with purpose, forgot how to look up at the sky and feel small, forgot that progress doesn't always mean wisdom. The Maya never called themselves lost. That label came from us, the modern world, obsessed with answers and afraid of silence. But if you walk through their ruins at dawn, when the fog clings to the stone and the jungle hums with life, you can feel something ancient, something alive, a whisper between the trees that says, "We were here, we are still here, and we will be again." Because in the Maya world, nothing ever truly ends. It only begins again, in a new form, under a new sun.